Hi there, it's Shell, and I have a little thing I want to show you guys. If you have followed along with me over the last year or so, you know that I really like to have like an element of surprise in my journals, in my life. So I want to show you these little things that I made. These are obviously for Halloween, and the top comes off. And then when the top comes off, you open it like this, and you have a journaling spot. So you kind of, just a secret spot for you to write in, and then it just goes back in here. And they're thin enough where they're not going to take up a lot of bulk in your journals. So I have that one, and then I have this little witch. And this is going in my witch journal. And then it just opens like that. You have some coffee dyed paper where you can write your note or whatever you want to. And I'm going to show you how to make those today. They're actually really, really simple. I've kind of done this technique before using a card. So I thought this would be perfect for little places for more journaling and just a little element of surprise. So I'm going to do that. Oops. So the first thing I did is I just found a die that I wanted to use, and I'm using this one, and I'd say it's about 3.5 inches by about 4.5. So I cut 2 of those out because you want 2 that are identical. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go cut these. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so when I cut them, I want them all to be the same. So the 2 points right here, I just line it up. So the main thing is you want to find a place to line up on your cutter. And my cutter's a little bit larger now. So I'm going to go cut these 3, and I'll be right back. Okay. And then we have these cut together, and what I did is I just kept the 2 pieces that I cut so that I can line up the correct, the way that the pattern's supposed to be. It doesn't look right. If I can figure it out. There it is right there. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to set those two the cut pieces aside, and I'm just going to use some wet glue. And I think wet glue is pretty important here because it gives you just a little bit of time to, to move your papers around if you need to. Oops. Okay. And you're not crafting if you're not making a mess, right? Let me get a paper towel. Okay, and I'm just using some art glitter glue. So I think it's a really good glue. And then I'm just going to just kind of line them up. And that's all there is to that part. So I'm going to go ahead and do these other 2. I just want to make sure I keep my 2 pieces together. It's just easier that way. Go ahead and work on these other 2 so that way it will give the one just a chance to dry before we put the other piece in. But it kind of, if you need to kind of rearrange it for just a second, if you use the wet glue, it just is easy to manipulate it the way you need it to go. And the last one, these guys over here. Okay, baby.
I'm tired.
Okay. And then just gonna pop that like that. And when I made these, I made like 20 because I had hurt my back from doing crafting. And so I thought, well, this way I can just kind of sit and relax. Okay, and now I just have some manila file folder. You could use cardstock here if you wanted to, but it needs to be a little bit stiffer. And this is just 1.5 by 3 inches. I'm just going to pop that in like that. With just a little bit showing. There we go. And we're going to use that to glue our top to. So I just put just a little bit of glue on my little file folder, and then just line that up. These are very simple, and I think that's one good thing, you know, that it makes for junk journals, is when you have a fairly simple I have cats, so you might hear them in the background. But I really like fast projects because, you know, you're not spending all day making them. And I just line that up. And then what I did is I just kind of pulled it out and set it aside to let it dry. Just in case there's a little glue overage. Let me get some more of those little file folders. I have 3 more. And we'll just decorate one of them just to kind of give you an idea how I decorated them. I got glue all over my hand. Okay. Because that's just what happens, isn't it, baby? Okay, so let's do the inside first. So actually, let's decorate it. That way we don't have any bulk from the inside. So what I did is I just, and then you also know which side is in the front. Okay, the first thing I do is I want to go ahead and do some distress ink. I just like to take it down the color just a little bit, especially on the edges, because when you cut them out, sometimes you have that really white stripe from where you cut out the edges. And if you don't have, you know, a die to use, you could certainly either just cut it into a square and do the same, you know, type. You could cut it into a tag shape and, you know, do the same technique. I just had this really pretty die. Go ahead and here I didn't do the center part, but that's okay. I just like to bring it down just a little bit, some of the color. Okay. And then I want to make sure and line it up correctly before I start decorating it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Make sure it all lines up. Okay. And now I just have an assortment of some goodies that I pulled from my stash that were Christmassy. So I'm just going to use some of these just to kind of decorate up. I want a little bit of old book paper. This is old, very old music paper, and it's very fragile. So it's perfect for a project like this. Go ahead and just add just a touch of Distress ink just to kind of help it pop out a little bit. There we go. And you just want to put it on the bottom half only. I know that's obvious, but you know, sometimes you're so into it and then you just put it on the top too. Okay, so now we just kind of want to layer up. I have a little bit of tulle. Scissors here. I'm just going to just kind of do a little piece like that. And some lace. The good thing is you don't have to, you know, use a lot of embellishments for this. You can just kind of use odds and ends. So I have a little piece of red ribbon and some lace right there. Kind of like that. Let's add just a little bit of ribbon. So I'm just going to kind of do a dove's tail here. You can decorate these as much or as little as you like. Use a little bit of hot glue just to get it to stay put in here. I'm kind of peeking out from everything. There we go. I like that. And what I like to do is I use my permanent glue, which is my art glitter glue. Just do that, and then I also use some hot glue, and that will hold it temporarily until the wet glue dries permanently, just in case the hot glue is not strong enough. I like to have that extra strongness there. Okay, and then what I'm going to use is these little poinsettias. I think they are really cute. And this little leaf, it's not a typical poinsettia leaf, but I needed some greenery and I really didn't have any. So I'm just going to put that kind of to the side. And if you're doing a bouquet anyways, then it's going to have all kinds of greenery in it. Just to, you know, that's just what's going to happen. Okay, and I want these little pieces in here, so I'm going to just put a little bit of hot glue and just kind of decorate that. My little poinsettias, put those down. Oops, I caught it. And the hot glue will keep the center parts down. I think that is turning out really cute. Let it go in there. And then we'll put one more, just because I like things of three. Put that like right there. And I think that looks really, really cute. And then I do want something up here on the top. Just kind of adds a little something to it. And then also, you know, kind of hides the fact that it's a pull. So I'm just going to kind of use what I already used. Just a little bit of tulle. I'm going to use this other piece of ribbon. Just going to kind of gather it like in the center. Right here. And just put it kind of right there. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. And then here I'm going to add some of these satin roses. I just think they'll go really pretty. Actually, let's just add one. That's not too much, it's just a little something. I think that is so cute. Okay, so the outside's done, and we're going to work on the inside. So I went ahead and cut, you know, 2 of these. So I'm just going to measure it just a little bit under the top part right there. And then I'm just going to go around it and just trim it off. I want this to lay really nice. And just a little bit. Try to get a straight cut there. And then I have one of those little hinges. So this is just some leftover coffee dyed paper, and I'm just going to make this part into a hinge, and I'm just going to have it open like this. So I'm just going to measure that, and then just put some glue. And that way you're using up your leftovers, and it works out really well for this. I wanted it to lay really flat. I don't really want, you know, any more bulk than is absolutely necessary for on the inside. And then this will go right there. Okay. I'm just going to line it up. And if you have any overage, just go ahead, trim that off. Okay. So now that we have the hinge, we need to put just a little piece of paper to keep your notes on. So this is what I did. I just line it up with that, and then I kind of put a little crease in and just go just barely underneath that little crease. And then gonna kind of just accordion fold it just so it will fit into my little booklet. Put some glue on this one piece, and then I am just going to just glue that down. And then this will fold in here that, and it's a perfect little secret spot. And then it just fits right in there, and it doesn't get tangled up or anything once you do it like that. So I hope you guys liked this. If you give it a try, be sure and tag me. You can follow, or you can come join us on Little Acres Creations on Facebook. And again, if you're interested in any of the journals that I'm making, you can go to Etsy, and I am Shell Bears Creations, and I will be having some journals there. Be sure and hit that subscribe button below, and be sure and give this video a big thumbs up. So thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have a blessed day.